Welcome back to Spanky Gibson Produces. Now, I'm Spanky Gibson, and we're here in the shop. I've got a question for you. In the last 24 hours, what are the biggest takeaways? Was it political? Was it economic? Was it possibly war? Was it rights? And what I'm specifically talking about is women's rights. So I'm asking you that. Please comment on what you think is the biggest ticket item in the past 24 hours. Now, it's Wednesday. Yesterday, a lot of stuff happened. So first, let's talk about the political aspect. Now, I was coming back. I had to be at the VA early this morning for a dental appointment, get set up for some future stuff going on. And I was listening to the radio in my truck to everything that happened in the past 24 hours. Now, last night, watched some of it on YouTube. My big takeaway last night was everybody watching Wisconsin, political. And this Francesca Hong, the Democratic Socialist of America candidate for governor of Wisconsin, was ousted by fellow Democrat Crowley. And that everybody was jumping to conclusions. Everybody was, and when I say everybody in the DSA movement was discussing the 5 memory drives that failed to upload the votes from 5 different machines. And they automatically jumped to conclusions that there was some wrongdoing to oust by the Democratic Party a DSA candidate. And I would like to know what you think about that, especially if you're a Democrat and you might have been for Miss Hong. Now, I don't really care. I live in Oklahoma, not in Wisconsin, but it's hard not to want to watch everything from Mayor Mamdani to the gentleman in Michigan to this lady in Wisconsin and all the other seats throughout Congress and State House and Senates and everything that's going on. So in the last 24 hours was politics, something going on in politics, the most important thing to you? Well, my second question, if it was rights driven, states' rights specifically, did anybody pay attention to what happened by the governor of Massachusetts yesterday? If not, you need to go find out. And I'll give you a little teaser. They passed a law that allows the rights of a woman to abort her child if it's medically approved by her physician up to the point of birth. Now, I know a lot of people are for and a lot of people are against abortion rights. And I understand that. And I can understand the views of someone, when they talk about rape or incest and things of that nature. But, you're talking about a very small percentage of women that fall into that situation. And I can be compassionate with someone's needs, compassion of the fear that they might have, especially in a child. But what I don't understand is all this push is put on certain states to pass for the care and need of the woman to be able to abort that child up to the moment of birth. Now, I look at it from a different perspective. If that child feels, senses, has a heartbeat, understands a very limited life in the mother's womb, they still have life. They still have the capability of becoming a human. And as a person that has numerous kids and a lot more than numerous grandchildren, it's important to me. Still have that compassion, but I want to know what you think about it. Do you think it's right that a doctor can make a decision along with the patient, the woman, to abort a child up to birth? Now, it's about the women's rights, correct? But it's ironic because the same individuals if it's a deadbeat dad. Someone that wants to have sex with the woman decides to have the baby, but the man doesn't want to have anything to do with her, or the woman doesn't want to have anything to do with him. And they say, well, if I can't have a play, I'm not paying. Let's just call it what it is, a deadbeat dad. Why is it a deadbeat dad, but not a deadbeat woman for getting rid of her child up to the point of birth? And a second part, all the years I listened to and saw the bumper stickers and all the things that were talking about coexist, is that coexisting? I don't understand it. Common sense. Let's employ that a little bit. And next, to jump points here, and if you like this information and you made it this far, I would ask you, do the typical. Subscribe to Spanky Gibson Produces. Hit the notification bell for future videos, whether formal or informal. This is obviously informal. Like this and give me your thoughts, i.e. comment. We've done political. We've done a rights question, a states' rights, law. But lastly, why do we have to be so politically divided? Do you all even think about that? Think about what I said at the beginning of this. Last night and today, I've heard nothing about the DSA and the standard Democratic Party, I don't know how you do that, battling against each other, splitting themselves apart. You would think, at least I would think, common sense would tell me, if you want to run for office and I want to run for office, and you win and I lose, but we're of the same party, I would be happy. I would be bummed out that I lost, but I would be happy that my party won. And then it'd be on to the next, and I would support that person. But if you're not supporting your opponent that wins or loses in the same party, what does that say to you? Does it maybe say to you that the DSA is hiding behind the Democratic name and they're really socialist/communists and they don't care about any party? I wonder what you think. That is all I heard driving to my VA appointment for 45 minutes this morning, driving back after my appointment, then coming out here in the shop to start working on this project I've been working on. And all I'm hearing is, you cheated, you cheated, you cheated, you cheated. Well, it's awful funny that the same side that is now splintering themselves and saying each side cheated within their own party has been doing nothing for the last 10 years but blasting the current president of the United States for saying the exact same thing. They hold him accountable for it on top of everything else they hold him accountable for. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that hypocritical? Now, I hate the fact I'm in my happy place, and I just had to get serious. I had to think seriously about something, and that's the reason I did this. I've got a whole other group of videos that I'm getting ready to work on, but I felt I needed, while I'm out here in my happy place, getting pissed off about that wonderful TV that's behind the camera right now, just regurgitating what I just talked about. So I would ask, what do you think? Let me know what you think. Comment on whether you agree or disagree with me. What have you seen in the past 24 hours that stands out the most to you? Now, if you like this video, share it, please. I will have some of my other videos in these corners. I hope you will look at those, watch those, and do the same, comment on them. And I appreciate you all being here. I appreciate you coming back to my tiny little channel in my tiny little workshop here to watch this not so tiny dude. I'm not a tall guy, but I'm a thick guy. But once again, I'm Spanky Gibson. Spanky Gibson Produces. And I appreciate y'all being here. And yeah, I look forward to your comments. I'll read each and every one of them. And I will definitely get back to you. Thank you.